Well, hey everybody, Cookster here, I'm back. So we're back with everybody's favorite block sanding. This is the second coat of primer that I put on. This is the primer coat I put on after I finished filling all those rust pits and the last little dent or two I had. So I'm blocking that. I'm going to block this coat. I'm going to block with 320. I believe I can get away with 320. Even though I had a few scratches here and there, I believe 320 will work. I could do it 180 first, but I'm going to go ahead and jump up to 320, and hopefully this is my last, quote-unquote, last straightening blocking for the roof. It depends on how it blocks, as if I prime it. It depends on how it blocks. So it depends on how I block. Damn it. It depends on how it blocks before I decide if I'm going to prime it and block it one more time, or if this is the last blocking. I'm probably going to prime it. Golly. I'm probably going to prime it and block it one more time just to be safe, because I like to block 3 times. This will be the second. Just to be on the safe side. Anyway, I'm going to film it, but I'm going to fast forward. If you want to hear some tips and tricks, watch my other block sanding videos. But I'm going to go ahead and prime this. I'm going to go ahead and film it and show it, because I'm trying to show the process. So anyway, here we go. Alright, so again, 320, and here we go. Let me show you what I got. So the front half, I blocked all this. I stopped. Well, I ran the block over all of it, but I didn't block the back half on purpose, because I want you to see Yeah, see the dark spots still? That's the orange peel in the primer. Right here. That's the orange peel in the primer. So I have not blocked that fully yet. I did knock the overspray off. And then up here you can see this is final block. I'm happy with this. We're smooth, we're straight. So the first section up here where I kind of quit blocking, I'm done. I'm happy with it. That's the last blocking required. So now I'm going to back up and block the back half. I just wanted to show you the difference. How you know you're done? I mean, you want to have all this orange peel out in the primer. You don't want your primer to look like that. You want your primer to be smooth. Silky smooth. There's sand scratches in here from that 320 paper, but it's silky smooth. Also, somebody's probably asking, when do you stop? On my final blocking, which is what this is, I'll usually block until I just start to cut through. So here's a spot. Here's a spot here, just starting to cut through. And then the spot here, just starting to cut through. So I have blocked this all I want to do. That's basically my way of not putting such a high film build of primer on here. You don't want to stack coats and coats of primer. It gets so thick, you know, it'll crack. Now the urethane primers aren't near as bad as the old lacquer primers used to be about cracking, but I try not to keep stacking up, you know, just heavy coats of primer. It's just not good. You don't need to do that. I try to sand off most of what I put on, especially in the blocking stage. Anyway, now I got to come back. I'm going to block the rest of the back side. I got to block this rear panel right here, and then I got to do all the small crap. I got to block around the door jambs, above the doors, the rain gutter. I got to block all down in the rain gutter all the way around. And that's that slow, tedious mess that you have to do in order to make it look good, do a good paint job, but it's slow and tedious. I'll film all that again and fast forward all of it, but I'm not going to stand here and narrate. Okay, I went ahead and finished sanding the back edge. Again, you know, I sanded the back pretty hard, pretty heavy, so I know I'm going to go ahead and reprime the whole back. This section here, and I'm going to reprime the whole back section, because I got to reprime this anyway. I'm not going to prime the front side. The front's good. That's just wasting primer. That does not need to be primed again. It's just film build and wasting primer. And I'm going to sand right back off. There's no need to. But this stuff needs to be primed, and I'll go ahead and hit this one more time, right along here, right along this edge. So now I got to block this back panel. I'm not going to show that. I guess I'll film sanding one of the sides and maybe the front of the windshield. So that's it for now. I'll come back when I got more. Alright, so I got the back of the roof block sanded, and I'm going to block sand the front of the roof, under the windshield, the A-pillars, all this small tedious mess that takes time, but it's got to be done. So once again, I'm going to put the camera on. I'm not going to narrate. I'm just going to put the camera on, let it run, and I'll wind up fast forwarding all this. Alright, down in here I'm going to switch to this smaller DuraBlock. Got the finger hole, so it's a little easier to get down in here. It's a lot easier. This one will work, but it's kind of, you know, there's no hand holes, no finger holes, and I'm up here against this drip rail. I will use this for some things, like the front of the drip rail, down under here probably. But for riding here, this one works great. So. corner looks really good. It's done. Here's some of the pinholes that were there that are blocked out. The reason I keep blowing it with the air really strong, I want to make sure I get all the dust off so I can look for pinholes. Look in here and if I see any, and I don't. So I've got all these rust pit holes that was down in here. They've all been filled in and blocked over. They're covered up. So that's really good. You can see where I have not blocked. Let me see it. You can see where I have not. You can see where I have not blocked above the door where the transition goes from. Well, there's light. Let me see. Transition goes from. Where's my hand? To thin, to the orange peel, to the primer dust, to the orange peel. All down in here. So that's, you can. It's very easy to see. This is all the orange peel where I haven't sanded yet. So that's what that little haze looks like. Anyway, now I got to sand above this door. I also got to get back up there and do under the windshield. Let me go ahead and do that while I'm standing here where I'm at. Alright, under here obviously I'm using my paint paddle. Mess it again. Alright, another day. Still block sanding around this windshield. Thank you. to get another piece of 320 paper. These are small wore out pieces. I usually keep some around and I tear them up, tear them off, do the small stuff like this. Alright, this side feels pretty good on the drip rail and the windshield. Alright, now I'm going to move the camera and we'll stand over here on the side of the roof, side of the roof. This rear corner is a tricky place to block because it's all, it's all curved. So you kind of block it however you think you can. I'm working the block with the curve. That's why I'm using two hands a lot, because it helps me control. One hand it kind of wobbles. I can work it in this curve with two hands a lot better than I can, doing it with one hand. Now here, where it gets flat, I can one-hand it. And down here on the side, it's kind of flattened out again. Alright, I think I've shown this before, but this is my, like I mentioned, paint paddle sanding block. The good paint paddles, the good straight ones. I've had this one a long time. You can tell by how it's worn down and how dusty it is. But anyway, you just take your paper. This is a full sheet of 8x11. Line it up on the top edge and just roll it around and take my fingers and work it, tighten the corners up. You can't see my thumbs. I take my thumbs and roll it over and just work it around. And you wind up with just a little bit hanging over. You can either cut that off or just use it. It doesn't really matter. And then block. Now I'm blocking this body line down here that I want to be able to block you know, the body line comes down and rolls over. So like picture an S curve. I want to be able to block down over that top of that S curve. So I'm using the edge of my block to do that. I've got it turned up. You know, I'm not sanding with the block flat. I've got it turned up where I'm really only sanding with about this corner right here. That's what's letting me block down that S curve and then into the crease of it. And I've already found a couple of spots. I found the spots here where that were rust pits that I filled in and primed, so I'm already seeing them come up. So I'm blocking them down with the primer. This is exactly what you want to do. That's the whole point in doing this. Now we're getting back in here where this corner turns again, so I'll start using two hands and just work my block around this curve the best way it fits. I'm working this rear corner right here. I have not stripped the paint from about here down, but I went ahead and stripped, you know, all the way up into the body seam and the curve. So that's why I'm going ahead and blocking all this now. When I strip the rest of the paint off down below, I'll just feather it in right here, no problem. You can see I'm starting to cut through. It's time to stop. I'm just working it over a little bit more. It's blocked, it's straight. I'm just working this curve a little bit. And then I won't show up when I sand, you know, this in here. I'll just come down the sand inside right here. And that little dark spot you probably can't see is where the panels are a little bit mismatched. I'm not going to worry about filling that because seam sealer will hide a lot of that. So now we'll switch back and I'm going to sand the outside of the drip rail. my primer, my blocking stick, and I'll work the body line right here. Even though I know the windshield rubber covers up, I think it coats over this line, but I still want to block it just because it makes me feel better to know it's good and straight. Covered up or not, I don't really care. Now I'll come back. I really should be on the ground for this, but I can work the top right here. Now I'll come back and work the actual crease, which is going to show. And as I said before, there were some pinholes and nicks and a couple little dents in here that I blocked and filled out, or filled in. So I want to make sure I get those blocked out. Work up into this crease up here. Wait, what? Is that thing recording? Oh, hell. So that's the end of this block sanding video. I was editing the video last night and I realized I never shot an ending for it. I filmed this about 2 weeks ago. And just now getting around to editing it. So let me show you. So since I shot that footage, I have gone back and reprimed the roof, blocked it a third time. I got everything here ready to final sand one last time, and then I'll be shooting the entire roof and it'll be done. That'll be it until paint. That's the final prime. let me back up a little bit. I have pulled the back glass. I have finished blocking and straightening a few little dents above the window. I've stripped and repaired a couple little dents around the bottom of the back under the glass. I also stripped the sides. There was a dent here and a little dent here. Nothing major, just a little small stuff. And then, of course, so the sides, back panel is done above the bed. I haven't pulled the bed off yet. So that's the end of this block sanding video for the roof. I did not film any of the work I did on the corners or the back panel down here. Probably should have. I just didn't. So shame on me. I just didn't. Anyhow, that's it. So as usual, thanks for being here. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. I hope you're learning something. I hope I'm not boring you to death. I know block sanding is not sexy, it's not fun, it's not very interesting unless you're somebody trying to learn or just wanting to see how to do it, and that's what I'm trying to show. This is a long video and I fast forwarded through a lot of sanding. So I actually had thought about not even posting this video because I just don't know if people are going to watch it. But I need to quit having that attitude and just go on and do it, and hopefully my channel will grow doing it the way I want to do it, with the longer, more in-depth videos, and we'll just see if that works out. So I just saw a hummingbird fly by. You didn't, but I saw it. Wow, that just caught me completely off guard. He just flew right in front of me, like 5 feet in front of me, and stopped, and then anyway, sorry. Wow, let me regain my thought train here. So anyway, thanks for being here. I hope you're learning something. I hope you're enjoying it. If you watched till the end of the video, thanks so much for being here. As far as the work on this truck, there's not a lot left to do right now because I'm hot and heavy trying to get my Model A in here. But there will be a few more videos on my truck before I put it away for probably the winter. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again. I appreciate it very much, and I will catch you on the flip side. Y'all come back now, you hear? Hot dog. Woo.